Hello, this is J.N.S. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a marvelous day. We're doing our Freaky Friday a little bit earlier. And I want to discuss a specific topic about a teacher, okay? And in a situation with his students. And then the reason why it relates to like the Center for Sexual Health and Family Planning and Freaky Friday is because again, we're talking about like boundaries and appropriate behavior, what's grooming. Like, okay, so let's dial back a bit because I think maybe you guys know or you don't know what happened, but there was a situation where there was a teacher who got fired and in trouble for having female students take out his braids. So just to give you some context, I'll share this. Let me make sure that you can see it. Make sure that you can see it on your screen at least. Okay. So it was a black male teacher. I'm not quite sure his age. You know, I'm thinking maybe his age. I don't know, maybe but nonetheless, he's a teacher at the school, and he had these female students take out his braids, as you can see here. They were taking out his braids, and they
live stream my students helping me
out. They love this
in the
teacher,
chat, which had people saying this was
and
inappropriate, and other
he
people
put the
saying this was
video of
completely
this
fine,
on
there's
social
nothing
media
wrong
for
with what I was
clout.
doing, and people just
And
making
what
it
happens
weird.
when you
So
look
of
for
course I
clout?
had to bring this issue to the big
Sometimes it
stage.
backfire. And so
But
when
I'd
it
like to
comes
represent
to this
myself in this
teacher,
case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for
he
a little
got fired from
context, I had
this.
a hair
It went
appointment immediately.
viral. They ripped him
I
a
didn't
new
have the time to do it
asshole
all
because
myself
they
with the
accused
phone
him of
videos.
doing.
And during that
They
time, the
accused him of
female helped
grooming
me
these
take my
girls.
hair.
They accused
A
him
couple
of
of these were
being
students from
inappropriate.
so
They accused him of doing all these things,
I
and then
had
he ended up
things to
getting
do.
fired.
I take the
Okay,
time
so
to
as you
get
can
to know
see,
my students
it's
outside
female
of
students
academics.
taking out his braids. So when we talk about like boundaries and the moment of is a community where there's some of the people in the community was like, okay, this is a moment to we have to protect our children. He's grooming them, and I just want to give my opinion on this and my perspective. What I say is not law. I'm not saying that I'm right on this, and I'm willing to learn more from the public and from especially from women. I want to learn more because from my perspective, I honestly just didn't see anything wrong with the video itself, objectively. And I'm gonna give you my experience and my reasoning behind that. Because again, these girls, you know, uh they take it out as braids or whatever. They have a bond, it's a teacher student bond, and there's context that matters, and there's nuance that matters. So from what I'm seeing, and I could be wrong, and I'm willing to bite the bullet on that, and I'm willing to eat crow, and I'm willing to learn and come back and apologize. I do not think that this teacher should have been fired from this behavior. I just don't. That could be my own skewed frame of reference though, because for me, I ain't gonna hold you. Growing up in Buffalo, New York, I've seen way more sharm shit between students and teachers than this. I personally have not been in a inappropriate situation willingly with a teacher. A teacher slapped my ass in the 8th grade. Just happenstance. And I've seen other students get their ass slapped by teachers. So I guess for me, like my frame of reference is already off on a whole nother level. There was a teacher that used to give us money, straight up, not to do anything sharm or nothing, just give us money for ice cream. We used to come to him, and he would literally give us money. And that teacher lived literally around the corner from me. Like, so to me, my whole frame, and I can give you some real stories in Buffalo, New York, man, that really have y'all like, what? Between teacher and student. Not necessarily with me, but just shit that we know when the students used to gossip and the students used to know shit about certain teachers. And, we've seen some shit. And so for me, this little situation, of him getting his hair taken out, I don't think he should have been fired. Now, if it's a teaching moment to set boundaries and say, you shouldn't be having students take out your hair, it's unprofessional. Is it unprofessional? Yeah, I can see that. I can see it being unprofessional. for sure. They're at school. They're supposed to be there to learning their curriculum, to be learning whatever, math, geometry, whatever he teach, history. Why the fuck are they taking your hair down? Why didn't you do that yourself? Why aren't you, why you didn't pay somebody else to take your hair down outside of the school setting? So yeah, those are all conversations we need to have. But in terms of firing someone and putting them on saying they're a groomer, fucking up their potential livelihood for the future, I have to say I can't really get with that. I can't, because he's probably, let's be real, he's a black male. He's probably what, 10 years older than these girls? What, in his 20s? He looks to be in his 20s, maybe early 30s, but he could be in his 20s. He probably, honestly, a 25, 26, 27-year-old black man, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but they don't have like, come on, these girls, no lie, is probably more mature than him. That's how serious I am with this. These girls taking out his braids probably got more logic and intelligence than him, straight up. It's just the dynamics of our community, because we coddled the boys and we raised the girls to have more responsibility. Y'all can deny it. We always talk about it in our community. You know how many black women I talk with, they tell me the brothers was coddled and treated like babies their whole life. And then the girls, they had all the responsibility and had to be the intelligent one and had to do everything. And so it wouldn't even shock me, given the dynamics I know about Black American community, if you see how they all surrounded him. And even when he was crying and reading the text messages of the girls, did you see how the girl was kind of coaching? Oh, don't let them get you down. Don't let we got your back. They probably more mature than his ass. Seriously. Now we're going to talk about grooming and the Centers for Sexual Health and Family Planning. Is this a case where he was grooming? I don't think so. I've seen those when he was reading them text messages. I have to say, inappropriate, yes, but is he trying to plant these girls for some sort of grooming? I don't get that. I just don't. And if I saw it, I would. You guys know I would spray a nigga if I felt that they was harmful to Black children, to Black girls, to Black baby girls. I'm gonna come at you and knock your head off if there is evidence, and even if there's a thought that you are doing harm to women, if you are doing harm to these girls. Okay, you guys know me. I'm all for the divine feminine. I will not throw no girls under the bus for it says just to cape for some teacher, some Black male teacher. I honestly, just from my frame of reference and just from looking at this video and even looking at the follow-up video when he was crying, I don't think he should have been fired for that. I think that they should have had a review, some training for him. You cannot do that shit no more. And you cannot be texting these students. The text and the student thing, maybe that is warranting of termination. I'm not sure. That's crossing the line. But the takedown of the hair, I don't think that should be. And I believe in that he should be given a second chance, because there is no evidence that he was being inappropriate sexually with the girls or even insinuating anything sexual, even via the text message. You know what I mean? Like, ruining someone's chances to be able to find for future employment, because this is a viral video. This is going to go over it. It's going to follow him. And so when he tries to apply for other teaching positions at other schools, they're most likely not going to allow him to work. And so I don't think that his livelihood should be fucked up like that over something that he can learn from. There are ways to teach boundaries and professionalism in a way where where he won't do it again, but he's given a second chance. Because I'm telling you, I have seen a teacher throw, I've seen unprofessional shit. I know what unprofessional, I've seen some shit. I mean, in Buffalo, New York, I've seen a teacher take one of them little squishy balls that you like, it's like a ball. He took it off his desk and threw it at a Black girl's face. No lie. Nothing ever happened. That teacher was not fucking fired. She got removed out of the class, but I witnessed that. That was my best friend. He threw He took the ball off of his table and hurled it at her face, and it connected. I've seen another teacher. We were doing swimming in freshman year in high school at Hutch Tech. She was a swim instructor. She got upset at us because we weren't listening. She took her notepad that was in her hand and threw it at the pool, and it hit a girl named Danielle in the face. Boom, hit her in the face. Now she apologized and was all remorseful and scared because it hit contact. That's inappropriate. She was never fired. I seen again a female teacher grab another female student in the 8th grade's ass. Nothing ever happened. My ass was slapped in the 8th grade by a male teacher. But I was standing up in my seat with my butt tooted up, and I had a big ass in 8th grade. And no lie, he said, he slapped my ass, said, sit down. And I remember the other students laughing. I remember we talked about it. I remember, we was like, and one of my friends, like, not of my friends, they thought it was funny, but one of my friends, I'll never forget, she was like, yo, that's really inappropriate. That's really inappropriate. But in my mind, I didn't report it. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think nothing of it. And to this day, he's still teaching. He a damn superintendent. And so I'm not trying to bring that up to get nobody. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about that. All I'm saying is inappropriate shit happens within the education system all the time. We just saw that damn high school that had them teachers having them students lift their fucking feet. It's literally a festival that they do where the teachers was sitting in a chair and they had the students licking their feet, had the students licking their fucking armpits as a part of some damn challenge competition or something. None of them teachers was fired. And so I just for me, I just feel like the community and the public at large was so quick to just jump on a situation that could have been a teaching moment, but they wanted to label him a groomer, a pedophile, harmful to the community, trying to harm Black girls. And that just don't sit right with me. Like, and you guys know I just flamed P. Diddy. Like, I don't have a problem going after a man that's harmful to women. In fact, that's my go-to. That's easy for me to do. It ain't nothing. If I really in my heart felt that this man was a danger to these Black girls, I would flame his ass. No questions asked. I will flame him and scold him right on with the rest of the public. But I'm assessing this energy from obviously my frame of reference and from what I saw growing up and from what I know happened in schools. And also compound with what our culture and our community, knowing how the boys do get coddled, knowing how the dynamics between Black teachers and Black students is naturally more intimate, believe it or not, and not in a sexual sense. Get sex out of your head. Now we talking about sexual health and family planning, but we talking about the family aspect of this. For when we talk about the Center for Sexual Health and Family Planning, and even doing this video, we're talking about more of the family component, and we're dealing with sexuality in the sense of boundaries and what's grooming and what's intimacy and how those boundaries between Black teachers and Black students. That's something we definitely need to talk about, because, like I said, if we were to have our own institutions, like say we had our own public schools, the Black American schools, like we used to have, the settings naturally would be, the dynamics would be different than what the system has set up. You have to at least be aware of that. The dynamics between even the Black female teacher to the Black students and vice versa would be different. And I argue that it would have more of an emotional component, more of an emotional, intimate component, where you see us looking out for each other, whether that be something like taking out the hair or dropping a student off somewhere, or giving a student 50 cents, $1 for some snack or some shit. You will see more of that emotional component. And I've witnessed this myself I went to school 57 as a youngster, and we had a lot of Black, at that time, it was a hood, so there was a lot of Black teachers, a lot of Black substitute teachers and Black teachers in general, students, teacher aides, they were all Black. And I remember the dynamics was a lot different than when I went to CSAT, which was majority white. It was a big difference. And, that intimacy component was there. yeah, somebody will fix your hair if your shit was, the teachers will fix your hair, or, we used to play in our teacher's hair. I'm telling you straight up. So this is just a black male, but let's not act like, and we used to play with the white teachers here too, but they were female to female. And I'm telling you firsthand that we played with the teacher's hair in 8th grade, 6th grade, kindergarten, whatever. And this happening today. And I know I myself played with my teacher's hair as a youngster, for sure, doing braids and so when I see this, it's a black male. So now it's like, oh my gosh, he's trying to groom him when he's doing something inappropriate. How many of you played with your teacher's hair? It was just a female. Really? So why assume? And again, I'm all for tagging a nigga if they doing some inappropriate shit to some girls, but why assume that this black male is grooming because he's getting his hair taken down, they playing in his hair? And then it's like a lot of projection I'm seeing in the community, where the community is like, oh, especially the black man, oh, he is so inappropriate. So are you projecting on what you would have done? Are you not able to handle some black girls taking out your hair? Would you would have been thinking about sex? Like, I'm confused as to why y'all jumping out of y'all bag over what he did. Y'all ain't jumping over y'all bag about P. Diddy beating Cassie's ass in that video. Y'all defending that, trying to look for a way to defend that. But you niggas want to jump on, oh, he broke the rules. Oh, he did so wrong. Oh, he's wrong. Okay. Are you projecting what you would do if you had a bunch of 15, 14-year-old black girls touching your hair? Would have been thinking about sex with them? It seems like y'all projecting that onto this black man. And that's what I get. And I also know some of the sisters, you may be sensitive to this, as far as a lot of the women are coming forward saying, oh, it's grooming, it's grooming, it's grooming. Those text messages that he was reading, crying, I'm telling you, that's not fucking grooming. I've seen grooming. I know what grooming look like. That's not no fucking grooming. And again, if I'm missing some component of the story, I'm always willing to say, okay, you know what? I didn't know that information. I was wrong. I got further information. I stand corrected. I was too gung ho about it. I was triggered. I was wrong, and I shouldn't have been defending the situation. And so if that information comes to light, that he sent some text messages or did some call, but they got some evidence that we don't know about, and as far as the reasoning for firing him, I'll eat that, and I'll say, you know what, I jumped the gun on this. But I've been triggered this whole week because I looked at this video multiple times. I'm telling you, I looked at it.
10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for the.
And I'm telling you, growing up, I did shit like that in my teacher's hair. It was just a female teacher, though. And it was a white teacher. Sometimes it was a white girl or black girl. It didn't matter, but we would do their hair. The white girls always wanted the black girls to get them some braids and shit. They would wanted 2 braids and shit. And so we would do the white teacher's hair, especially if it was a pretty white girl. And if it was a pretty black girl, we wanted to play in her hair. And I mean, that's just what kids do when they because again, it's not sexual. But if you see an attractive human, the kids, they treat attractive teachers better, attractive humans better. And I've seen this growing up. I've witnessed it, and it had nothing to do with sex. The kids weren't thinking about sex. The teacher not thinking about sex. But I remember we had a teacher, and we had a couple of teachers, it would be so pretty, and you would want to play in their hair or be up under them or make sure, that's just natural for kids to do. I'll tell you about some of my experience at Salvation Army Camp. It was a camp in Buffalo, New York that the kids would go to in the summer, Salvation Army Camp. And it was a lot of, believe it or not, most of the teachers, they weren't teachers, but like counselors. Most of the counselors at the Salvation Army Camp were black. A lot of black males and a lot of black females, more black females. And I have to say, it was a lot of pretty, they were like, I remember being 6 years old, 7 years old, thinking these were some pretty ass humans. I was not thinking about sex, obviously. I didn't know nothing about that. Well, I knew about that, but not projecting that onto them or anything. But I remember like seeing some of the, I'm like, wow, these are so, I remember we had Latoya, pretty brown girl, so pretty. And I would play in her hair and, I just thought that like, she wasn't trying to groom me or anything. And there were times when, some of the male counselors, we thought they were attractive. We was happy to when they would hold our hands to walk us to the, walk us outside. They would hold some of the, we 6 and 7 years old, and we looking at this big tall chocolate. But and again, you're not thinking about sex. You're just thinking, wow, this is a good looking as human. Like, this was cute, attractive to the eyes. Like, you just know that you like what you see, and that's innocent. For a kid to do that, it had nothing to do with sex, and had nothing to do with nothing. Please hear me out. And so what I'm saying is, as far as these kids, they probably, because another thing that I was seeing with the Black Americans is, you guys were saying, oh, they thought he was cute, they like him, they got a crush on him, and it's his responsibility to shut it down. How do y'all know that even if they did, they're taking down his hair? It really is nothing. I'm telling you, this was nothing. This was nothing. I've seen some appropriate shit, man, growing up. I've seen, like, I remember when, we used to have them little naps. They used to make us take naps. And sometimes the counselors, the teachers, they would play some music. I've seen, a teacher dance on a little ass kid student. Black teacher and black student dance on a playful. It was, now that I'm older, that's inappropriate as fuck. When I was a kid, I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't do anything. Like, we were all just was laughing. But I've seen, like, a female teacher, kind of like twerking, like on a little ass kid student. And I mean, if somebody wanted to press charges or take that, or if that was recorded and put on social media, that was decades ago. But she would get fired right now. Something that was so innocent. The girl, she in the church now, and not even thinking about nothing. She wasn't even grooming no kid or touching the kid, or she just happened to just do a little inappropriate dance. It was inappropriate, and then yes, she should have been corrected for that, but nothing happened at that time because we didn't have social media. Just like when we were playing with our black teacher's hair and white teacher's hair and doing braids and they shit and being up under them and asking them for money. We didn't have social media. There was no social media. So a lot of stuff, I'm telling you, it's his fault, because he shouldn't have been looking for clout. He shouldn't have put this shit up on the internet. Had he not did that shit, nobody, you know what I mean? Like, he would have had his job, but then somebody would have still needed to, that you need to work on your professionalism. You need to work on your behavior, But if we had our own institutions and our own schools, me, even as an, as someone that's in education, I wouldn't fire him for this. I would have put him to the side and be like, you can't do that. You can't that's not the time and place to have some damn students taking down your damn braids, dude. You taking down your own braids at home. The fuck are you doing? Because he lazy. He figured he'd save some time. He didn't want to take him down himself. He'd rather save some time and had the students do it. And they were going to do it because some of them probably do think he cute. And not in no sexual way. Attractive humans just get treated better by children. That's probably a study. It ain't got nothing to do with sex. Because I don't play that when it comes to no kids and touching them and being inappropriate with children. I just don't play that. I believe in protecting our children and our children feeling safe. And these girls, they felt safe. They'll beat his ass if if he ever tried. These girls would jump on him. These black girls, if they didn't feel safe, they couldn't tell. They would have told on him. If they didn't feel safe, they would have told on him. If they didn't feel safe and he did something, try to hem him up, all of them, look how many girls were surrounding him. They would have beat his ass. I'm telling you, they would beat his ass. Look at what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see these pretty girls? They would have beat his ass if he would have tried something with one of them, or they would have told. They would have said, "Oh, we got to tell. We got to tell. Tell my parents that you did da. Right?" So this is innocent. I promise you. This little video was innocent. The texting was a bit much. How did he get this number? It could have been, the exchange of the number could have been innocent, I don't necessarily see that as grooming yet, but his students were sad that he got fired. They said, "We love you." The girl didn't say, "I love you." She said, "Just know that we all love you." What's wrong with that? We all love you. How many of you said we love you? How many, growing up, yeah, we love some of our teachers. the ones that cared about us and the ones that bought us candy and drinks and juice and shit. Yeah, we loved them. Like he bought them candy and juice, and after all of this, candy and juice, and probably is teaching them, teaching them in a manner that they can understand the material, actually care about their learning. So he messed up, he fucked up, and did something inappropriate that can now jeopardize. And if he's righteous, and he will be vindicated, and he will land on his feet and find work. If in his heart of heart he wasn't grooming these girls and he wasn't trying to think of nothing inappropriate, God looks out for the righteous. And so that's what I'm hoping for, is that nothing else comes out of this in terms of like, okay, you was really trying to, if there's evidence that he was really trying to groom these girls. I just don't see it. Not from this little video. Not from this. Look how they and these are different girls. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, and they putting pigtails in his head and all this stuff, and he thought it was cute because, again, I'm telling you, teachers and students do this type of shit all the time. We've been doing it for decades. I'm telling you, I don't care what, if parents, if you bury your head under a sand, under a rock, and you don't know this shit, yeah, I played with my teacher's hair growing up. The same way, it just wasn't a black male teacher, it was a female teacher. No, she wasn't trying to groom us or get us to, teacher, no lie, a teacher gave me fucking painkillers. But no lie, a teacher in 8th grade gave me fucking painkillers because I was in pain. And she pulled me, she said, I shouldn't be doing it. I mean, we talking about like oxycodone, like codeine, like one of them pills that people be using to get high on and be addicted to. She gave me that shit in the 8th motherfucking grade. And she said, don't tell nobody, but you in pain. I was in pain. I had a menstrual cramp, heavy menstrual cramp. And I had no Tylenol, no medicine, or nothing. And she put me to the side, she said, don't tell nobody I'm giving you this shit. I was high as a motherfucking kite. I went home high as fuck. This teacher, I did not get that. I'm telling you, like, there's inappropriate shit. I'm telling you what's inappropriate. Like, there is unprofessional. People make mistakes. People do. And I would have never wanted her to get in trouble or get fired over some shit, over a mistake where she was really trying to, she saw me in pain. And I'm walking around asking students if they got Tylenol or something to help me with my period cramps. And she just happened to notice that and pull me to the side. And, that's all she had. She said, what it was. She showed me what it was and everything. And it said like Oxycontin or Oxycodone. It didn't say Percocet. I think I would have remembered Percocet, but it was something with an O. And it was in a prescription, and it was known it was a painkiller. It was like oxycodone or one of them. You guys know. I can't remember the fucking name now. Because that was the first and only time that I had took something like that. But she gave that shit to me in 8th grade, and I went home high as a mother. I remember going home. I walked in the door. I'm sitting here crying because I was thinking about some shit. I was so high. And I remember I just went upstairs and got in bed. I was like, woo. I mean, and that was my first time, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell was that? I knocked out them damn cramps though. But I say that to say is like, there is inappropriate. Like that was obviously inappropriate, right? That was 20 years ago. But imagine it had I went on social media or she showed that she recorded that on social media of her trying to help me and I helped my student with her cramps. And you know how y'all love to be on TikTok and love to get clout and y'all love that little robot voice. Help my student get rid of her cramps. And she didn't, nobody was there to help. So I went in my bag and pull out, come on, her ass would have got fired. I could sue. I would literally been able to sue the fucking school, okay? For that shit. Because I'm telling you, I could have acted like I was passed out. I could have drawn it all out. Oh, I'm passed out. Oh, I'm an allergic reaction. Oh, you know what I mean? So I just don't, something in my heart feels for this brother because this shit gonna follow him. And if he wasn't trying to really groom and he just made a mistake, an immature mistake, because I'm telling you, these girls is most likely mature than him. These students is most likely more mature than his damn black male. And because of the dynamics of the black community, always coddling males. So he probably, honestly, like it probably was an innocent, stupid mistake that he did. It was an innocent, stupid mistake. And I just don't like that this something like this could follow him where he can't make ends meet for himself after all of the training and the schooling that he went through and the time and effort to get a master's degree and certification to teach. All because you make a simple, stupid mistake. Now you can't work no. Now they got a viral video of you, and every time they pull you up, and we can't trust you. I don't like that. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right, man. I don't. I just don't. There's a lot of inappropriate shit going on. Y'all niggas ain't. Y'all trying to defend P Diddy, but y'all came after him like this. After this innocent teacher, like, and if I'm wrong, I will come back and say, okay, you know what? I saw them text messages. Or, oh shit, this came out. I'll eat it. I will. But my frame of reference is already screwed because I've seen inappropriate shit. Real inappropriate shit. Like I'm telling you. When I went to Salvation Army camp, yeah, the little girls it was fine as black teachers and shit. Like you just like what you see. And again, you're not trying to have no sex with them or nothing like that, or and it wasn't like that. All I'm saying is, the dynamics of grooming, that's like a real thing. Like people are predators out here, and people do try to groom children, for inappropriate actions and to get them to trust them so that they can exploit them later. And that was the rule that they said he broke. So let me show you this, because they said that he broke rule number. How do I get out of this? I think go here. Okay. Now, because I honestly was confused as to what. So this is the man right here. He got the J's. I can look at his spirit. He got a kid spirit. He's not mature. How like with me, I was always a very mature.
Let's go ahead and stir the pot.
I was always incredibly mature for my age. You know how you have that demeanor. Some people have a demeanor about them. This boy ain't got that damn demeanor. And I know he may be older than me or maybe not. I'm 32. He may be
schoolwork and all the stuff that.
But I can look and tell when somebody, you can tell somebody's the age of their soul. The age of their soul. This guy is not thinking like that. I'm telling you, he probably got the mind of damn one of them damn 15-year-old boy, 15, 14-year-old boy. I'm if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll eat that. But so this is what they say he was breaking the rules. So they said, I read all these rules, by the way. Do not engage in inappropriate relationships with the students. If you were to read all of these, they said he broke rule number 3. And they said, do not engage in abuse or neglect of any child or vulnerable adult, including grooming behaviors through which an adult or person in a position of authority builds an emotional connection with the child to gain their trust for the purpose of exploitation or other abuse. Here's the thing. They said he broke rule number 3. Where's the evidence that he was using it for the purposes of exploitation or other abuse in the future? Where is the evidence of that? That's what I want to see. Because yes, okay, if he's building an emotional connection, a part of emotional intelligence and social interaction and interpersonal skills is building an emotional connection with your students. You have to gain your students' trust. How the fuck are they going to how are they going to trust you to learn from them? You have to build an emotional connection. Now, they're saying that it was for the purpose of the exploitation or other abuse for the future. Where? How? Where's the evidence? Where? Why are y'all assuming that? And why are y'all so quick to assume that about a male, about a black man? Here's the thing. I just told y'all that we was always playing in our teachers' hair growing up. It was just more female teachers. Were they doing that too? Were they trying to groom us for exploitation of other abuse? No. We just thought their hair was pretty. We thought they was, we just thought, okay, you got pretty hair. We want to do your hair. We want to give you some braids. You want to, give you some twist or some shit. Put your hair in a nice ponytail. And the teachers were bored or whatever. They just said, whatever, shit, y'all play in my hair, shit. Time go by faster. We don't cover the material for the day. It's recess time. It is what it is. I've seen a teacher bring in a pet for one of their students. We had teachers to bring in a chinchilla for us to play with. And they were going to give, he brought the chinchilla and it was going to give it to one of the students. A chinchilla pet. That is building an emotional connection. Sure it is. one of the teachers used to bring my friend some food. She used to bring Chevette's chicken. So she brought Chevette's chicken. She cooked Chevette's chicken and brought it for my friend for her to have. Is that grooming? Isn't that emotional connection? The chicken was nasty as hell because I remember she was like, "Oh, yo, so and so." I'm not gonna say any teacher's name in it because I don't want nobody I don't want to bring nobody no motherfucking smoke. I'm just saying. She would she came to me. She said, "Yo, so and so made this chicken. I've been waiting for a long time." She said that she gonna make me some Chevette's chicken because my friend had never had Chevette's chicken, and I'm like, in my household we always cook Chevette's chicken, so it wasn't a big deal to me. But for her, she grew up vegetarian, so she was never really allowed. She was not allowed to eat chicken. She had to sneak and eat chicken. And so when she heard of Chevette's chicken, her teacher said she's gonna bring her some Chevette's chicken, and she said, and it was like the teacher was white, so she called herself making some Chevette's chicken. Lord have mercy. Me and my friend, I remember she was like, "It's nasty." I remember my friend was like, "It's nasty," and I said, "Let me try it." And I was like, "That ain't how it's supposed to taste, honey." We threw that chicken away. But I was like, it don't supposed to taste like that. Like black folk hook Chevette's chicken up. Some people really hook your ass up with some Chevette's chicken. And so I said, well, you gotta wait to have that. You gotta, the black churches used to do Chevette's chicken dinner, and I said, you gotta wait till we go to one of these black churches and get a Chevette's chicken dinner from them. You know, sit up there and had no white teacher bring you some damn Chevette's chicken, honey. I remember looking at her just like that too, like the fuck. And we were in high school, 15 years old. That teacher could have got fired for that. Technically, building an emotional connection for exploited, and that teacher was a lesbian. We really would have had a case, So I'm like, what the hell? Like, what are we doing in society? Like, there is real grooming going on, and we are in a day and age where we need to talk about these things, and we need to talk about professional behaviors and inappropriate behavior, and we need to talk about how children are being exploited and abused. There are children that are being exploited, and there are children that are being abused. There are children that are being trafficked. There are children that are in horrible positions, and we need to speak out about it. I've been doing it. I've been willing to do it. I talk about how the government is trafficking children. I talk about it all. I talk about how the industry is trafficking children in Hollywood. I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm not about to sit and let even if we talk about the R. Kellys and the P. Diddy's. And that's one thing. And I'm gonna stay on their motherfucking neck. I'm gonna stay on P. Diddy's neck. I don't respect Woody, how he treated women. I don't respect that. Okay. But when it comes to something like this, in my soul, I'm telling you, I understand pulling him to the side, giving him reprimanding him. Letting him, I'm all for it. He needs to be reprimanded. Okay, you keep your hands to yourself. You had no teachers you had no students on your fucking hair. You stop doing that shit. Stop texting. But I get that. That should have been the end of it to me. And I think the public jumped on this because we're in the age of coming at the Epsteins and the Weinsteins and the Dan Schneiders and the Nickelodeon and coming at Disney and fighting for the children and children are being exploited. We're in that day and age, and we should be. We should be very vigilant about that and diligent. I just think that the public kind of projected that energy onto this guy, and I just think it was a little unwarranted. I looked at these rules. This is the rules from the student school book. I looked at it. I keep reading it. I don't see where he was trying to gain their trust for the purpose of the exploitation or other abuse. That's total conjecture. That's total conjecture. We don't have any evidence of that. And if the school has the evidence, do you need to fucking tell, Because right now, I feel like y'all did some sherm shit. I do. I feel like y'all was wrong on that. To fire this man and then to ruin his shit like that. Where he can potentially not be able to
pay
for himself for something that he trained for. Oh, in the context, again, remember context and nuance. In the context of all of us growing up seeing way more crazier shit than this. We know that teachers do inappropriate shit at times. And a lot of the times students don't report it because we don't have the acumen at that time. You're 15, 14, 13, 12. You don't know that you should report certain behaviors. Like, you don't think of it. Like, when that teacher slapped my ass in the 8th grade, I did not tell any parent. I didn't tell any adult. I didn't tell any principal. I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing. I laughed about it. My friends laughed about it. And one friend said that was inappropriate. When my other friend got her ass slapped by one of the female teachers, nobody said anything about it. Like, once again, that same friend was like, that was inappropriate. That was fucked up. She literally took her hand and cuffed that girl's butt and pushed it up the stairs when we were in 8th grade. And I remember my friend looked back, she was like, what the hell? And then, but she didn't go and report it or anything. So what I'm saying is this, and it maybe and I'm not saying it shouldn't have been reported, because maybe it should have been. Maybe that's grooming. I'm not sure. I don't know what that was. It only happened one time, and then and that teacher ain't never take her to no bathroom or try to get her number or nothing like that. It wasn't. It was just, So I don't know what was in that teacher's mind at that time. That was 20 years ago. All I'm saying is it stuff like that had happened. I told you about that. I'm telling you. I remember we were going, I think it was Darien Lake. Salvation Army Camp had took us to Darien Lake. And that ride home was very, very long. And I remember I was sitting next to this real pretty light-skinned teacher, like real pretty. She was so pretty. And she put her arms around me and said, hey, I want you lay on my lap, because I was falling asleep. And she said, lay on my lap. And she was just rubbing my hair and rubbing my back, just rubbing my hair and rubbing my back. And I was like 6 or 7 years old. And she did that the whole time. And I remember thinking, oh, this lady is so pretty. I don't mind her, rubbing my hair and rubbing my back. Now, I guess if it would have been somebody ugly or something, maybe, I don't know. A kid's mind is a kid's mind. A kid just going to look and see, okay, you look trustworthy. You're really nice. You're really pretty. I just remember thinking, like, this, it was a light-skinned girl with one of the mullet cuts. And I remember thinking, the 90s hairstyle. And I just thought she was so pretty. And she was like, you can lay on my lap, and she rubbed my hair the whole time and rubbed my back the whole time, all the way back from Darien Lake. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I thought, is that grooming? Is that inappropriate? That's an emotional connection. Like, I don't know. So, I just feel like we kind of jumped the gun on this one. I don't know, maybe some biases because he's a black male, And so here's another video. I'll share this. Now, they said that, I don't know what this is. I'm trying to see where was the one where. And again, there's a time and place for everything, and doing hair and nails in a classroom is not the time and place. And y'all are absolutely right. Y'all are absolutely right on that. I just have to say, again, we did this shit growing up and wasn't nothing. We used to take our shoes and motherfucking socks off. All types of inappropriate shit. I mean, I was out there as a kid. I was a very charismatic kid. I mean, I've seen some inappropriate shit. I used to have the teachers wrap around, some of them teachers, I used to have them wrap around my damn finger. They used to call me Miss Jenny. I was always called Miss Jenny. I was always looked at, I was a different type of kid. So I used to get money from my teachers. No lie, get me some ice cream. And that's just how it was. But we were, and so I just feel for this man, because it says, and here's another comment by Linwood. He says, y'all say y'all want community and community building, but when someone tries to build relationships, y'all call them weirdos. He shouldn't have posted the video, but y'all never had teachers that cared, and it shows. And I have to agree with that. He should have never posted this fucking video, because this shit could ruin his life potentially. And when I build up my shit, Knox University, and when I build up the things I want to build up for this community, I will offer him a job. But the thing is, no, you can't be, texting and fucking students and shit. Like, come on. Like, I wouldn't leave nobody stranded like that because they make a mistake. Second chances. I believe in second chances, and I hope there's a school out there. I don't know what grade he teach, maybe 8th, 7th grade. I hope that y'all could give him that second chance and just, tell him, you can't do that. It's just, that's a teaching moment. It's not a moment to fire someone. If you ask me, it's not a moment to to just ruin someone's livelihood in the way that they take care of themselves. It's a teaching moment. And so community building. Again, if we had our own shit as Black Americans, y'all don't think we would be doing stuff like that with our teachers here? Or texting our like I'm confused because I mean we tend to look out more on the emotional level when it is Black students and Black teachers. I don't understand. We tend to it tends to, you know, people could say that's unprofessional and whatnot. We've had teachers do our hair. I've had teachers. I'm not gonna hold you at Hutch Tech. I'm not gonna put out these teachers' names again. Students used to spend the night at teachers' houses. No lie, slumber parties at teachers' houses. They were cooking pastelitos for us. I never spent the night at my teacher's house, but I'm telling you, there was a teacher that used to invite students over to spend the night at their motherfucking house. At Hutch Tech. This is a fact. It is a fact. Is that grooming? Why the fuck is it? Why is students spending the night over a teacher's house in a freshman's in a high school? I mean, let's be real. Technically, never fired, tenured teacher, retired teacher, you know, been teaching for 30, 40 years. But yes, she had students spending the night over her house. She would cooking them pastelitos, chicken, all types of shit. One time, you know, because here's the thing, she was a Latina, so that like a lot of the Black kids, we used to love pastelitos, but we didn't necessarily know at that time in Buffalo there weren't a lot of restaurants that cooked pastelitos, good ones. You know, it was very hard pressed to find a place that did authentic pastelito making. And so she was a Puerto Rican teacher that used to make them pastelitos. And I'm telling you, the Black kids, and she had half Black children, but the Black kids, they used to love when we used to ask, you know, can you make some pastelitos and bring them to school? Can you make them and bring them? You know, and a lot of the Black kids used to love, because that was our only opportunity to get an authentic, good tasting ass pastelito. Now we know how to make them. Now I know how to make some good ass pastelitos. I ain't gonna hold you, but we, you know, back then we didn't know where to go and get pastelitos, and them shits was good as hell. And so we would go to her, and she would invite Black kids over to her house, and she would make pastelitos. You know, where was, you know? So I'm like, social media has really ruined a lot of things. Now imagine if she would have recorded that moment in her house. Imagine if she would have recorded that and put it all on it of Black kids at her house spending the night. Oh, I'm a teacher and I'm just making these pastelitos. Oh, y'all would have been like, it's inappropriate. Is this, is that? Oh my gosh. That's what would have happened. Most likely. And so I just don't agree with the take, with the general public's take on this situation. I don't agree with it. Now, again, if it some come out where one of these girls come up forward and say, "Oh, he got me pregnant," or "Oh, he texted me this and he texted me to send me a picture of breast," or something, then I had to take my video down. I had to say, you know what, guys, I was wrong. I fucked up. I was wrong. I didn't get all the information. But this little video of him getting his hair taken down, nah, I can't see it. I can't see it. And again, if you know, if something is inappropriate happening to the young Black girls, young Black boys, they should always come forward and speak. We didn't speak growing up. There was a lot of inappropriate shit that we witnessed and saw, and we didn't know to speak up. You know, now we weren't, we weren't solicited for sex or anything, but in terms of like teachers giving out painkillers, money, inviting them to their house, bringing them, cooking them food and all that. Yeah, we saw that. Come on. That's all unprofessional behavior. Let's be real. That's all unprofessional. But that was stuff that we all had experienced. We just didn't think that was, oh, let me go tell my mom or let me go tell the school. Well, they violated the law. They violated the rules. Get them fired. No, we didn't even think of no shit like that. Just like how these kids are. I'm telling you, this social media stuff it blew the keg off of a lot of things because Had this been in the 90s, nobody would say anything about this shit. Nobody would have cared. Even if one of these students went home and said, "Oh, mom, we had to take out such and hair today because he said that he ain't had a time when he get home. He got to go to some meeting, and so we took out his hair, we took out his braids." I'm telling you that teacher, even the parents probably wouldn't give a fuck. That's how that's it. To me, this just looks that innocent. I could be totally
Stir
off.
the pot a little. These were students from my class, but
This little shit right here, I'm telling you, I did shit like this growing up to the females all the time, to female teachers. Now I'm gonna tell you one story. I'm gonna tell you this story. No lie. Growing up, I want to say, I can't remember the name of the school. It was probably like Olmsted, or I can't remember. But this is some grooming shit. Now you want to see some grooming? You want to hear something that was going on in Buffalo, New York that none of the students actually reported? Check this out. When we were growing up, there was this teacher. He was like in his 30s. He was a black guy. He was real fine. And I think he was like an eighth grade teacher, ninth grade teacher, eighth grade teacher. 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, 13, 14-year-old girls, mainly. He was fucking them girls. And it was like a known thing throughout the school amongst the students, not amongst the other teachers, though. This rumor, it was so well known that students, the girls was talking about it so much that it spread over to other fucking schools. Like, I heard about it. Like, this teacher, I think, I want to say it was like Olmsted, or it was one of them schools. I can't remember the name of it. But, like, he had, like, this dude just literally had, like, a reputation for that. Like, that it was known that he was fucking several 13, 14-year-old girls. And he was fine, and so the girls thought it was okay. And they didn't know any better or whatever. Now, here's the thing. When I turned 18, one of the girls that had been fucking that teacher, I started dating the girl. She was 24. I was 18. She was 24. We weren't like, it wasn't no relationship or nothing. It was literally just talking. And our first date, she was like, I want you to meet so and so who I used to babysit. I babysit his kids for, and he was my teacher. And I'm thinking, like, okay, he was your teacher. Like, why are we going to meet him? And she said, yeah, we used to mess around with each other when I was younger, but we don't do nothing now. He has a wife. He's married. He's a sheriff. He's literally a sheriff in Buffalo right now. Like, he's a sheriff, and he's married, and we still cool though, because I we still friends, and him and his wife, sometimes we do threesomes. Now, this time he was in his 40s. He was in his late 40s, going into his 50s, possibly. And I remember thinking, like, that I said, when did y'all mess around with each other? And she was like, when I was 13, she's like, when I was 13. And she literally just flippantly told me, like, she's like, yeah, he was my teacher. And, at so-and-so, she named the school. She's like, he was my teacher at so-and-so. And we were sleeping. He was like, she was like, he needed a babysitter for his kid. And so he asked me to babysit. And that's when she started babysitting. But she's 13. I guess she thought it was innocent or whatever. Her parents might thought it was innocent. When she would go over there and babysit, she was getting fucked by this old ass man, this teacher. And she just said it like it was so casual. And I'm 18. I was literally I literally had just graduated out of high school, like, literally. And she just told me. I remember thinking, that's crazy. I remember in my head thinking, like, that's kind of inappropriate. And then she was just like, she's like, we just always stay cool. We maintain, we cool. And so I went over his house. Like, we went over there, and we met his wife and whatnot, and we drank. We drank, like, I'm 18, mind you. I'm not 21, but they had a little bar in their house, and we was just drinking and whatnot. And me and a girl, we chilled or whatever. At that time, the girl was a full-blown lesbian. She didn't mess with men at all. Could that have something to do with the fact that she was getting fucked by some 30-year-old, 40-year-old guy when she was 13? Probably so. But she was a lesbian at that time, and we were dating. And we had got drinks, we listened to good music, chill. I think they smoking weed. I didn't smoke weed at the time. And then me and her went back to her place. And she was 24 and I was 18. But I remember looking at him and getting it. And I remember thinking, like, you was fucking that girl when she was 13. I remember no one having enough sense at 18 knowing that was mad and inappropriate. Coming to find out, I used to work at the Geek Squad. Oh, I went straight from high school working at the Geek Squad. We worked for the Geek Squad. And it was a lot of it was a lot of black students that had just graduated and also work at Geek Squad. So we were like 18-year-old kids, we were 18-year-olds. And his name came up. I remember, like, we were all discussing, I didn't bring his name up. This is just how much he was known for doing this shit. Like, they say, I ain't gonna say his name or nothing, but it was like such and such from blah, 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 we used to mess with all the girls that worked at Geek Squad. We were all in, they had just graduated high school. They was all talking about how they was fucking that teacher when they was 13, 14 years old. Just a happenstance. And I said, I said his name, and I said that work, and I said he looked like, and they said, yeah. And they said he's a sheriff now. I said, that's this. I didn't tell him that I was at his house with his wife and with the girl I was dating. I ain't say none of that. But I remember thinking, like, so he was doing the girl I was talking to at 13, but it was like literally 3 other girls, and it was some black boys too. They were 18, right? The black boys was laughing because it was like, we always knew that shit. They was laughing because they was like, that dude used to get around because we all used to talk about it. Like, we were 18 years old just discussing this shit happenstance. That is grooming. That is highly inappropriate. That's something you go to fucking jail for. He was fucking 13, 14-year-old girls. And the thing is, he was using, the grooming techniques. Oh, I need a babysitter. Oh, and being fine and being tall and the girls liking that shit, and whatever else, I'm just saying. I ain't never get caught up in that situation like that with no sex with no teacher, nothing like that, or nothing like that nature. I'm just saying, like, that's motherfucking grooming. That's something you fire a motherfucker for and lock their ass up for. And ain't nothing never happened. Nothing never happened to him because the kids, they 13, 14, them girls cut their mouth shut. They didn't tell anybody. They discussed it amongst themselves, laugh, ha ha, kiki. The boys knew about it. The boys didn't say shit about it. The girls was going over his house getting fucked by him. And ha ha, kiki. They thought that, oh, he was cute, he was fine, and he needed his babysitter, or he give him some money or whatever. And nobody said anything. In Buffalo, New York. So me seeing this type of situation, this little video with this hair, that to me, this to me is not that. Okay? This is not what I just told you. Going and spending the night over teacher's house, teachers giving painkillers, and we saw the viral videos of them white teachers making them kids lick their feet and shit. High school students licking feet and armpits and all that. Come on now. That's inappropriate, but y'all sit up there and drag this man through the ringer for making a dumbass mistake. That's what happens when you look for clout. This kid got this teacher. I can look at this boy and tell he probably got the mind of a fucking 15-year-old. He ain't thinking of let me harm these girls. Let me groom these girls for abuse later. And they do be trafficking kids in these schools and stuff. So you have to be careful. Again, not everything is innocent. And you do want to do your due diligence and correct people's behavior and monitor the situation. Sure you do. But I'm telling you, I don't think that this was that. If it was, I will be the first. I'm going to drag your ass if I find out you harming some black girls and some black children. Your ass is going to get dragged by me. Sure is. From the loudest rooftop. I don't care who you motherfucking is. I don't care how much power you got. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how connected you is. If you doing some charm ass motherfucking shit to women and children, I'm calling your ass out, or even boys, or just like how I call out P Diddy. Like you did some fucked up ass shit to some children, and you know, I mean, come on, we call out Epstein, we call out all types of motherfuckers that's doing some crazy ass shit to people. It's people that's really getting exploited out here and really getting hurt. And black girls that we do need their protection. There's so many black girls that go missing. It's black girls that get exploited the most, that don't nobody care about. And so I'm all for us protecting our black girls and doing our due diligence. You know, it's real predators in the community. It's predators for sure. But this situation, I just can't see it. And maybe if you guys know something I don't know, and then fucking show me, and so I could recant my statement, because I just don't see this. I don't see what he did as inappropriate. I don't. Even with him crying in them text, I'm telling you, like, people text people. Man, people do all types of people. I mean, if you go on and spend a night over your motherfucking teacher's house as a high schooler, and I just told y'all that's what happened at Hutch Tech with some of the students. I never spent a night at my teacher's house. I'm just saying some of the students will go to a Latino teacher's house to eat pastelitos and spend a night there. What's the difference between him and his text messages? And him and the girl just saying, "We love you." I mean, come on. We know inappropriate shit. And I'm not saying, I understand it was unprofessional and he needs to be corrected on it and not do it again, but getting fired and y'all calling him a groomer and pedophile and all that, like, no, y'all taking that too far now. Because if he's just a good teacher and wants to have him and wants to love his students and wants to bond with his students, who else he gonna bond with? He's there 8 hours a fucking day, 5 days a week. That's his job. He spend more time with there than anywhere else, than with anybody else. So what the fuck do y'all expect? Yeah, you gotta get emotional connection to your students and try to build trust. And it had nothing to do with sex. It had nothing to do with exploitation and abuse. Context matters, nuance matters, and the culture matters. Our culture is already more lackadaisical when it comes to those type of things. If we had our own schools, I mean, and my thing is, y'all so fucking, the black community is so black male identified, y'all, it would probably be a lot more sherm shit that we gotta correct. That's why we're in the age of divine feminine. That's why the queen mothership. That's why we on your heads. So maybe this is a part of that hypervigilance is a part of the balancing out, because honestly, the way our community is now, y'all can't really, I wouldn't feel necessarily comfortable either with the dynamics, like the way y'all defending P Diddy beating Cassie's ass. I mean, it's literally video of Cassie getting her ass beat by P Diddy after all this shit that people come forward and said he shot a black woman in the face, and y'all still trying to defend that, even still. And so the universe is not going to be comfortable giving you your own schools and giving your own stuff, because y'all will run rampant. Y'all would need that hypervigilance that black women have about this situation. In some instances is warranted. This instance, I don't feel is warranted. But the way y'all carrying on when it comes to trying to justify exploiting black girls, yeah, I see why black women are, and I see even why some black men have jumped out the window with this situation. I just don't think that this is the situation to jump out the window on. I just don't. I don't see this as one of them situations, but I see why they're doing it, because time and time again, black girls do get exploited. We got people defending R. Kelly peeing on a 14-year-old girl, and people still want to defend it. Marrying Aaliyah at 15, still want to defend it and make it seem like it's some white man coming after them. The fuck? And so I totally understand black women jumping out the window on this. I just, with me, I just feel like this is not, I keep reiterating it. I sound like a broken record. I'm okay with that. I don't think that this is that situation. I just don't. Not yet. Now, if something come out that he did, then I'll recant. But that could just be a thing, growing up in Buffalo, New York, and seeing, I've seen a lot of inappropriate shit growing up between teacher and student. Cooking food for the students, getting them, bringing them takeout, um, having inviting them to the house, dropping them off, giving them money. Again, I told you, what else? One of my teachers lived around the corner from me. Going to their house. I mean, you see shit. You see shit growing up. You see a lot. And I told you the biggest one with us was with that teacher that's now a sheriff. That was fucking 13, 14-year-old girls in Buffalo, New York. Like, I don't think it was like he had a reputation for that. And nobody said anything, and he never got fired. So, teachers been crossing boundaries and lines and of unprofessionalism, not necessarily grooming, not necessarily something they need to even be fired over, but unprofessionalism. Teachers are the most unprofessional. I mean, what do you expect? How else you going to build an emotional connection? Hey, talking about something you can't build an emotional connection with the students. They supposed to be a fucking robot teaching the kids 5 days a week, 8 hours out the fucking day? That's crazy. That's crazy. What do y'all expect them to be like, Mrs. Trunchbull off of the fucking Matilda movie? Y'all want them to act like that? Or Miss Honey? People would have said Miss Honey was being appropriate. She was look at the movie Matilda with Miss Honey. How she was treating Matilda, inviting her over to her house, getting her candy, randomly adopting her, letting her stay with her, sneaking over to Miss Trunchbull's house and all this shit. I mean, that would be inappropriate. She was brushing Matilda's hair and all this shit. When that would technically be unprofessional. She was supposed to build an emotional connection with her. Y'all want these teachers to be like Miss Trunchbull off of Matilda. That's crazy. They're not going to be like that. They're humans. We're all humans. You're going to take a liking to certain students more than others, not in a sexual way, not no pedophilia shit. I don't get down with it. You come on now. I don't rock with nothing with exploiting no damn children. I'm talking about the emotional, healthy connections of expression of emotions and care and love. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, it's going to happen naturally. Grooming is a whole nother situation, though. Grooming is some other shit. Like when that teacher, and I told you that story about that teacher inviting that girl to his house. I need a daycare sitter. I'm going to pay you to babysit my kid, and she 13 years old. That's motherfucking grooming. And then she go over there, and then he give her a drink, or whatever, give her some food or whatever, and then you fucking her. That's grooming. That's grooming. They don't have any evidence that this teacher was doing it. And so, even when we build our own schools and we have our own things as Black Americans, you're going to have emotional connection. And our culture is more, we're more emotional people, but we're not emotionally expressive in a sense of affection. But something like this would be common in our own community. I mean, there was a song called Braid My Hair. It was always something about braiding, taking out of the hair. They always show, even growing up in the videos, we would see them taking out a Black boy's hair, taking out the hair. That's just something, a part of the culture, to take out the hair of the braids. It's actually cultural. It's not anything sexual, and it's damn sure not grooming. It's not grooming. That's why these girls were so comfortable. They do this with their brother all the time, probably. Had to take out his braids. This is so casual. Look how comfortable everybody. I mean, this is just something I'm telling you. It's just that he's a Black male, so he got smoke. And Black men ain't no victim. I ain't trying to make them no victim, But at the same time, I do think that y'all jumped out the window with this one. I do. I've seen some inappropriate shit, man. These girls is that damn is that damn comfortable. Look out, they on their phone. It's probably recess. They probably already finished the curriculum and shit that they had to learn for the day. But it is, once again, unprofessional. It's very unprofessional. And so I hope he learned from that. And I hope he's able to find work after this. Just don't do it again. Stop looking for clout. Now you got the clout you wanted. What you gonna do off of that? Now you got to find your own way. You might as well start some online tutoring, some online teaching. Do some online tutoring and see if you can do some online teaching. They got schools where it's the you might have to do that for now until you can find another job. But yeah, you're gonna have to do probably some online stuff or offer some services. There's a lot of people that probably secretly do have your back and are afraid to, they probably don't see anything wrong with it, but what you did. So you're gonna have to probably, maybe this is opportunity for you to start your own business of tutoring of Black kids or whatever, and you'll find some clients that way. Maybe maybe this is your opportunity to start something on your own, especially if you can't get a job in the teaching industry again, in teaching. And so that's what I would tell this brother, is to start your own shit and try to get some clients that will allow you to tutor some of these Black kids. But again, if your ass is really trying to groom them, if you really trying to groom girls or you really trying to do something, I'm gonna beat your ass myself. I'm gonna beat your ass myself if I find out that you are out here trying to groom some young ass 14, 15, 16-year-old girls, 13, 12-year-old girls. But I don't think you were doing that. I really don't. I really don't. In my heart of heart, I don't think he was doing that shit. I really don't. So, I'm wishing him the best. I wish these baby girls the best. These baby girls, they got bright futures ahead of them. And so I'm wishing the students the best, obviously. But I also want him to recover from this and learn from it. Learn professionalism. My thing is, if he got to learn these professionalism, all these motherfucking ass teachers got to learn professionalism, especially in Buffalo, New York. Okay, because me growing up, if they doing what they was doing back then when I was growing up in high school and in damn grammar school, y'all motherfuckers y'all was very unprofessional. You weren't inappropriate. They weren't grooming or I'm not saying that I was I'm telling you, I was not groomed or anything, or nobody. The teacher didn't try to have sex with me or anything. But I'm telling you, these motherfuckers was unprofessional. Oh yeah, they were unprofessional than motherfucker. I've seen teachers laughing when we get into fights, and teachers laughing, don't want to break it up, looking to see who's gonna win and shit. Come on. I mean, what do you expect? It's mad unprofessional shit that goes on in public education, charter schools, magnet schools, private schools. They probably fucking trafficking kids in some of these schools. Let's wake that up. Underground tunnels and shit. But just on a lighter note, we know for a fact that we saw it's mad unprofessional shit going on. It need a whole overhaul then. The whole education system need a whole motherfucking overhaul. I told y'all about DAO. We coming with DAO. Decentralized autonomous organizations. I told you, come on. We got some new shit coming for y'all. We about to remake this whole education system. Turn this whole thing on its head. From the higher education all the way to grammar and high school. With the things that I'm coming up with and some of the things I'm working on the technology side behind the scenes with this stuff. I'm still working on NACTA University. I have not put in a lot of my energy into it, and I'm going to put more of my energy into NACTA University. I've been focusing on writing. I'm a scholar. I like to teach. I like the scholar aspect of what I do. But there's an administrative part and there's a business aspect to education. And that's the part that I'm developing myself and within myself. But yeah, if he gotta be fired and he's so unprofessional and he's wrong, he broke the rules. I bet you 70% of these teachers will be motherfucking fired. 70% of them in America, but white, black, male, and female, from the shit they be doing. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And so, he fucked up, man. He fucked up putting that shit online. But then again, it's a teaching moment, it's a learning moment, and don't do that shit again. That's what I gotta say. Okay, so you said perps are getting more creative if I do something in plain sight of others, I suspect there's professional line that you do not cross when working with children. Yeah, everybody's saying that. He should have gotten fired. He was group. See, you are entitled. You have a right to your opinion. I ain't trying to, you feel like he was grooming. I don't see the evidence of that grooming. Grooming is grooming. Where's the evidence of that? I'm putting this into context of how unprofessional teachers are in America. Female teachers, black, white. Do y'all know how unprofessional teachers are then? What do y'all think going on in these schools? Yes, they play with each other's hair. Yes, they give students money. Yes, they bring them food. Yes, they watch movies with it. What the fuck do y'all think is going on? Female teachers be out here putting it down on their students often. Well, I guess it's fair since it's Feminine Planet, they can get away with it. The crying was too much. Make your own school, man. I agree with that. He gonna have to do his own school. He gonna have to go do an online little thing and start offering tutoring services on motherfucking line because you don't fucked up now, bro. And another thing, the teachers, if female teachers are fucking their students, they need to get fired, and it's not okay. They can't get away with it. You know. What else you said? It is a feminine planet. It's a feminine universe. It's a feminine galaxy. But that don't mean that ain't right for any. No child should be exploited. No child. I'm not justifying no grooming and no. If it's a female to young boy too, that's wrong. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that it's okay because it's a female. Mm-mm. You know, I'm just saying the fact of I think we jumped the gun. Like she's saying he should have gotten fired. He was grooming. That is so reactionary. I, I just feel like that's Guru Girl 1000. I just feel like that's so fucking reactionary. It's not even funny. I mean, and did I miss something? Maybe I didn't see all of the evidence that y'all saw. Maybe I didn't. And I do believe there's a professional line that you do not cross when working with children. Girl, you didn't want to go to school in Buffalo, New York. You didn't want to go to school. I mean, because they was crossing the line every motherfucking day. 70% of these public school teachers would get fired if we were to see what they really be doing with their students. And not no sex and not no grooming. I'm talking about like shit like this. Doing hair and painting nails and massaging feet and doing all types of crazy shit. Taking a student, we gonna go to the mall and you gonna come spend the night at my house. That come on, what do y'all think go on? He should have gotten fired. I think y'all just don't, and I get it. Like I know y'all tired of the way men have been treating women and young girls. I get it. I know y'all tired of it. I'm tired of it too. I'm so tired of it. I'm so pissed off at it myself. And I've been vigilant, hyper vigilant. I don't understand what it means to be hyper vigilant against these niggas because they do some charm shit. They do a lot of charm shit, and they love to get coddled by our community. I'm not coddling men. You guys know that, but I don't know, guys. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna say I'm wrong. I promise you, I will. I don't have no problem being wrong on something. Absolutely not. I don't get that from this situation. I just don't. I just can't see it. I've been trying it's been 2 weeks now. When did this shit happen? Like 2 weeks ago. I literally have waited because I've been like, let me get more evidence. Let me wait. These women know something I don't know. People know something I don't know. Maybe I'm fucked up in the head because I done seen some crazy shit growing up myself. That I've seen teachers smacking students on the ass and giving us money. And I told y'all everything that I saw. And so I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. And so I'm willing to learn more because I'm for the age of divine feminine. I'm for black women's. I'm for these black children, black girls, protection of black girls. I'm against any forms of pedophilia. I'm against any grooming. No way. But I'll stand for it. I just don't see this video. Even that follow-up video, I just don't see it. But you're saying that they're getting more creative. Okay, she's saying if you do something in plain sight of others is less suspect. I hear you. I hear you. So yes, but that's assuming his intentions. That's assuming that as a black man, that's kind of that ain't right to assume that about every person. No, he was unprofessional though, and he got to suffer the consequences. Boy, you better start your own shit up, like I told you. Just get you a website, start some tutoring services. There's a lot of people that think like me, that don't think that so you'll have people that will support you But if I find out that you are indeed grooming black girls and you're doing some sherm shit, I'm gonna beat your ass myself. I'm gonna beat your ass myself if I find out that you was actually doing that shit. And I'm taking my video. I'm not gonna take this video down, but I'm gonna do a follow-up video blasting your ass if I find out that you was doing some sherm shit. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to y'all later. God bless.